Hi YouTube. Please excuse the noise of my pump. I have my dishwasher on. Um, we have rainy weather, so I want to get this video done for you all that in case I can't get it uploaded. It's not a guarantee, but I had a very sleepless, upsetting night. One of them, I think I've gone like 2 or 3 days, 3 days, I think, without being harassed. And people can say whatever you want, like you can just walk away from it, or you can't if the person's following you. And and if you need like quiet, see, just wanted not to have to answer any questions, you know, or listen to the same old doldrum bullshit of what's going on in the world that we all know. After a day, you hash it up, and then when it's rehashed, that's a waste of time. It's like, anyway, so that's how I'm feeling today, kind of yuck. Um, Not just the weather either. I literally am exhausted. I just need, when I need my rest, I worked really hard yesterday, and oh, whatever. I have not very nice thoughts running around in my head today towards people that don't act like gentlemen. That's kind of what the theme of my video is here today. Uh, the lack of leadership, and I do believe that is the job of the men on this planet. Some women, we make great leaders. Yes, we do. But isn't it true that if a man can use his energy towards a woman or a child to make their day a living hell, couldn't he take that energy and use it to help those women and children? I wanted to do some things today, and I wasn't able to now. And this happens so much. I really feel like poking holes in somebody. And so that's really seriously what I'm feeling today. So um, yeah, I'm absolutely being honest. It's not a continual feeling. I'm not rageful, but the thoughts have occurred to me um, like about 3 times already today. So then I mention it to the thing that I just said some pretty awful names to, but well, then I just don't have to go anywhere because he was going to go pick up steaks and buy this stove for me so I can cook them fucking things on there. It's like, I don't care. It's like, whatever. Um, I'm sure I'm not the only woman that sees a lack of masculinity in this world. Raise your hand. Anybody? Men? Chime in. I mean, you could say, well, like maybe the women aren't feminine enough. Yeah, like I told Doug, his real wife left him because he was you know, that's the truth. And I'm sure he misses her. I think she actually, until she cheated on him, probably was a better suited because they're both kind of brain dead like that. So maybe sometimes people reach for the stars, and I'm not talking about myself, and they're not suited to sit by that star. So anyway, they just pretend they are. And then when all the pretense is gone and you nail on their bad behavior, they try and put it on another person. It's like, nah, I'm not buying this. I'm exposing it right out in public. And if you're watching this, Doug, you are not a gentleman. You are not a nice human being. I would recommend any of my friends on here. Um, you can try and be friends with it. Good luck. That's all I got to say. Um, Even if some of you ever come and visit me, don't expect that I'm going to act like cordial around that. I mean, if you say hi to that and whatever and you're getting along or not, whatever, there's times that I'm forced to talk to it, but it's really like taking your dog to the dog park and picking up after yourself is what I feel like when I talk to it. So, anyway. Yeah, I know, and a lot of you are going through a lot of that with your family members too. And, you know, eventually the other day, my youngest son did stop trying to call here from prison. And I think he's getting the idea he's not going to be up till January. So I will write him. I'll write him a letter. So, yeah. But these men acting self righteous when they're just dirty. Dirty. I mean, I don't know, a person could get so much more done in their life. Number one, being away from all that shenanigans, but like together with people, you know, I miss days of actually doing things with people. Today, I asked Doug, could we pull the tractor over by my bonfire pit? He had burnt a lot of stuff in there, and I wanted to keep it clean from any kind of, like, it was like old window frames or something. He burnt a window. There's glass and window frame in my bonfire pit. You can't dig it out. You have to pull it out by hand. I tried last year, but I thought today we were going to work on that together. But last night, that's why all the shenanigans was started, because he did not want to help me do that today and make my backyard look nice, or a tree I wanted down by my asparagus. Nothing that I see that's imperative to make things like, if the power goes out, I have a bonfire pit I could keep a fire going, or just different things that just weigh on my heart, like things aren't working smooth here. It's like just regressed. I don't fucking get it. You know? I really don't. So, so men, like I say, I don't know if you're thinking like the women aren't feminine enough, or what. And I'm not talking in sexuality. I'm talking in making your world go around and making it run smoothly. That women, real women, are capable of doing that, but without a partner in your life to make that happen, it's a waste of time. It does make me angry. I could just take a hammer and just start smacking it. Maybe not to death, but be pretty brutal, I'm sure. Just the thought is terrible, I know. And you could say, well, it's not very Christian of me. Well, I'm not feeling very Christian towards demonic behavior, things that draw you down. Oh, and that's what my point was. There's people that say, well, like, it'll be used for good, or, um, like, ignore it, or don't let it bother you, or, it's not about you, it's about them, and all these little snappy sayings that are all fine and dandy when you're reading them during the day. But when you've worked hard for somebody that's going to abuse you when they've jacked off all day, and, oh, I mean, run around looking for stoves and different shit to make their life comfortable out in the shop, that type of thing. Um, Long story on the whole thing. But my point being, is when you watch somebody jack their life around and it ends up jacking your life. Um, you know, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like you can just ignore it because it affects your physical being. When your life is threatened, when your health and your well being is threatened, that's a life threatening act that has been done towards you. If somebody literally disrupts your life enough to affect your health, they are criminals, you know, and it is a criminal act. So, anyway, so I can do one of two things. I can get on here and make a video and just tell everybody how I'm feeling today, or I could take drastic measures, which I've really actually never, not for myself, ever really done, but I'm considering it today. Yeah, it was rough, really rough, and I burnt myself last night because of it too, so um, with fire. Just being upset and not watching what I was doing, and so when it literally affects people um, physically, that's when that person like me has to um, sit down and say, you're jeopardizing my freedom and my life, my existence, everything, you know. So that's why he is estranged, and don't feel guilty about making friends with a woman that um, is living in the same house with an estranged husband. I haven't worn my wedding ring for well over a decade. Nobody has touched me for just as long, if not longer. I'm not playing here. I'm not kidding. This is not me just bitching about somebody. This is me confronting the conductor of the biggest evil on this planet. And if you've gotten close to me and you've had some weird things happen to you from when you know, you'll know. You'll know you're being attacked for that reason. You'll know it for a fact. And I think some of you already do know that. So don't feel guilty. I mean, you can back off and protect yourself. And I really couldn't blame you if you did. But if you stick around, I appreciate your friendship. I really do. Because seriously, some of us don't have any friends except for on here. And that is the way the demonic system we live in has made it for us. Sure, we can go out like, some people, like if you go to a bar or go to your friends, like this friend or that friend, or have friends over and socialize. But there's no way. I've had people over my house, they would never come back after meeting that thing. I'm serious. I'm talking women that I have been friends with, and the only ones that would hang around here are ones that I probably wouldn't want to be real close to, and they'd be closer to Doug's type of person anyway. So yeah, as far as making friends, it's a difficult thing in this world to find people that have integrity. You know, women that understand what I'm talking about, and men that couldn't even think about treating a good woman poorly, or a child. If you seen the shit my kids went through that I really could not protect them from, um, you'd be enraged. You know, probably your children have probably gone through a lot of the similar things too that we might not have as parents recognized. what was, how do you recognize evil if you don't know what evil is? You know, if you don't expect that to happen. Well, I never ever sleep with both my eyes closed. You know, I've never been fortunate to have that comfort of actual comfortable peace, you know. So, yeah. I heard somebody say they don't dream, but they described a nightmare. I can so relate. But I haven't been really dreaming much lately. I do feel like when I do sleep, I feel like God's holding me, like I sleep soundly and I don't have, you know, I used to have really horrible, horrible nightmares. I think I've had maybe 2 or 3 good dreams in my life, but one is I'm in a field and of yellow flowers, and it seemed to me my place. And I was sitting on the ground in these flowers, and there was like 3 little girls all dressed in yellow, and we were dressed in yellow, and in these yellow flowers, and they were playing and laughing and stuff. And it was the weirdest thing. And that was way before I had granddaughters, So then I kind of understood why I had that dream, you know, like a foreseeance, because that was even when I had 2 boys, and well, the chances were that they would have boys of their own, but I prayed that they would because of the incest that had gone on in that family. So it's like, I don't know. I think really I probably would have been better off. Was my first thought was to never have children. Then I thought I fell in love and wanted to make part of what we both were together and put it on this earth. Yeah, yeah. And honestly, I do not believe in abortion, and I can't honestly say. Well, I can honestly say that if I had gotten pregnant with Doug's kid, I probably would have wanted to abort it, but I would have kept it. So, and if I would have gotten pregnant again by my ex, I would have wanted to get rid of it, but would have kept it. And I'm being honest. I wouldn't have done it, but I went and got my tubes tied instead. Then I went into early menopause at 34 years old. Could you imagine? It was a trip. So if any of you are approaching that, and then it kind of lasted for like 20 years, the symptoms from that, it was pretty bad. They tried to put me on like hormone replacement, and the shit was synthetic, and I just threw it away. It's like, get out of here with that. Popcorn and yams and soy have estrogen in it, which if you're replacing that when you get like in your middle life or whatever, um middle of your life or middle aged, or perimenopause, before, um that can be good, but then it can also cause urinary tract and yeast infections. The same with collagen, and in men too. This can cause urinary tract infections with too much soy and the estrogen, even in popcorn. So, and yams. So, like for guys, I would eat that sparingly, but unless you're truly a monster, then you probably need a little more estrogen. Some men should never even be allowed to put a bite of meat in their mouth ever. You know, they're too, they're like a rabid dog throwing in a piece of raw meat, with gunpowder on it. You know, back in the day, people used to take raw hamburger or whatever and put gunpowder in it for their guard dogs. It drove them stark raving mad. So, like, if you had like um, car lot or something with a lot of expensive cars in there or something, and it was fenced in, and you could just put your dog in there. Oh, I saw a really, really cool meme. It was a picture of a Doberman, how they cut its ears, and um, it said cut its ears so it would look more dangerous, and it had a picture of Adobe cutting a human's ears, cutting its ears so it looks more dangerous. It's pretty cool, making it look like Spock. That was cute. Yeah, I don't know. I do know it has a lot to do with, like, I put a time limit on how long people can talk to me. I even put a time limit on how long I talk. I'm not a super big talker. I could sit and listen and sing music all day and never really even say a word to anybody as long as they just shut the fuck up. you know. Anyway. And it's not that I like being alone. Most of my life has been. So and it gets hard. I hear the phone ringing off the hook again. I just mentioned my youngest. I believe it's probably him. So, him and Doug actually got along real good most of the time, and so did my oldest and him. See, it's the jealousy on Doug's part that um, actually he's played a great big hand in destroying my sons as men, where he could have helped a lot. So I'm just saying it like it is, you know. And he could debate that fact, but nah. It's too many really, really weird, totally bizarre. Like he pulled his pants down and mooned my kids. Back in the 60s and 70s, these creatures would do things like that. I should have knocked him in his head right then and there. You know, I asked the kids if they wanted to leave here, and they were getting close to Doug, and they didn't at that time. You know, so but just kind of really weird things, like saying in front of kids. And I told him if my granddaughters ever come here, and he said like in front of my sons, I've never trusted, and they were older, but still, I never trusted anybody that hasn't taken an acid trip. If he ever says something like that in front of my grandchildren, I don't want him around my grandchildren, and I would never voluntarily let them be around him at all. But I would slice his throat. So that's how serious it is. That's costing people to actually destroy their own lives by looking up to somebody that's totally mentally ill, you know. Yeah, that's a fact. So yeah, I'm still gonna do my exercises today. I did get up and started cleaning the house early, and because it stayed up, really late like usual. That's what vampires do, don't they? Stalk humans in the night. doing their crafts during the night. Probably putting spells on good people over on the other side of the planet at, you know, while they're still sleeping or God knows what, you know. I'm really not kidding at all, you know. It might sound like far fetched. Well, you would have to. I'll tell you what, the first day you met Doug, you would think something was odd, but with all the knowledge of like the so-called ruling class and who they truly are and their attitudes and whatever, not all of them have a great amount of money. They can do anything they want on this planet at any time they want to. That's total control, you know. So when I'm saying that, I'm not just saying that. I can right now, if I suck up, have anything I want, you know, and it's true. But I'm not like that. That's the problem. And if I get cut off, I do love you and I appreciate you listening to me. And I know, like I say, I know the ones that are here, you're evidently going through some of the same type of things. Something's up with that. I know I'm not the only one, but you know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's going to be used for good. Because if they're like hurting your heart or your life, or you have an accident because of these people or whatever happens to you and they're causing you physical harm, that there's no good coming out of that, you know. Maybe the only good that would come out of it is me getting on here and telling you that if you have these things happening to you in your life, you have people that are just their whole nature is like a insult to the planet, you know. Or if you've known people like that, then you know what I'm talking about. You know, it's not it's not fake at all, and it is damaging. Yeah. But I'm exposing the times that I've been totally stupid in my life, or I'm telling you, I track down Satan and I'm battling him on a daily basis. You can choose whichever one you think is accurate. And you can say an entity doesn't embody us, a spirit doesn't embody a human. They're all here. You know, you better believe it. They're not supposed to, but they do. But they'll pay for it. That's a fact. Seems like our storm is kind of slowing down, and sounds like my dishes are done in there. I might do a little video later too. It depends on, you know, oh, how I'm feeling and whatever. And because of the rain now, I'm not going to probably be going out and shoveling out wet ashes. But so, yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to work next to it today anyway. I'd be too tempted to take my shovel and do other things with it. So, yeah, I just can't stand it. I wanted to work hard and make things go around and make my place beautiful and my flower gardens and just, you know, even cleaning my house is hard when you have somebody up all night and then sleeping all day. How do you work around that? What do you do? You know, it's like everything's so different. And I was lied to at first. This creature actually acted human, took the parts of what was happening to me in my life when he met me, and and made sure none of those types of things were done by him until I was pretty well stuck, you know. Then the axe fell, you know. So anyway, my video mostly is about, it's not even the lack of testosterone. It's demonic entities in human form. There's no reconciling this shit. There's no coming together with this shit. Not for me, there's not. Maybe somebody else, maybe you think you can give it a go. Yep, you put your whole in life into that shit. It's either now or never for them, because I tell you, I'm not coming back to haunt anybody, but if I could blow them away right now, like a giant wind, I would do it. There'd probably be an awful lot of people missing on the planet, but because there's a lot of trashy shit out there that we're being pushed down our throats to accept, you know. Anyway, I'm gonna upload this one. Like I say, I might be back later. Um, yeah, I'm contemplating on an attack of sorts, an all-out. Yeah, it's a war. It's a spiritual war. You sure got that right. But I'll never sit here and pretend like what I have to leave my home or make moves to further destroy my life because somebody's lame. You know, now I'm not. I'm gonna fight the whole damn way, and I still. I'm gonna have my day where I'm a super powerhouse again, and this weak fucking toad is gonna have a big problem. That's all I got to say. Anyway, so thank you for joining me, everybody. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. It's not something, if you need peace at the end of the day and you're exhausted and somebody tramples on that, it could lead to bad times. You know, I'm just saying. Um, I'm strong. If I wasn't so strong-willed, I I I really, well, if there's anybody else that ever comes into that person's life, I pity these people. May